Good morning, everyone. It's Kathy. Cool morning. Cold, actually. I think it's only like 30 degrees out, and it's drizzly, rainy, but very gray. Not really doing anything horrible, but not a nice day. Except it. Look at these beautiful flowers. These are from my sister-in-law. She keeps me in flowers. She's so good to me. Thank you again, Pat. Now, we're going to do, for Easter, Betty Crocker is the brand that I have. We're going to do fudge brownie mix, but we're going to elevate it. I don't like to say hacks. There's just something about hacks that's just not appealing to me. But anyway, so what we're going to do is elevate the flavor. We've got 2 eggs, a pan. Pan is a little bit on the bigger side, so I'm not sure how flat they're going to be. We've got our measuring spoons, the brownie mix, our bowl. We're going to use milk instead of water. And we're going to use butter instead of oil. That in itself will be a big difference. I melted my butter. Just needs a, there it goes, a touch more to be perfectly smooth. So we're going to put in our cake mix. This particular box is 18.3 ounces. I don't even know if you can find them that large anymore. I've had that for quite some time. And we're going to, instead of using the water, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of milk, 1 and 2 and 3. Put our milk away. And instead of half a cup of oil, I'm going to put you back just a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Instead of half a cup of oil, we're going to use 1 stick of butter. Two whole eggs. I'm not going to use a mixer. I'm going to just do it by hand. I'll use this. Now, what really elevates it, and doesn't call for it even on the box as a substitution, is I'm going to use a half a cup of sour cream. I've never done it that way before, but from what I understand, it makes it really tender and moist, and not the least bit dry. I don't know, maybe I will have to get my mixer out if I don't get this. Mix. It's coming along. I'm going to spray my pan. I am going to use oil for that. My oil needs to be refilled. So we have our milk in. We have our butter instead of the oil. The milk was in place of water. We have 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs. And we're going to have 1/2 cup of sour cream. All right, and we'll use the quarter cup, and we'll just use it twice. I never used to use sour cream for anything. And all of a sudden, the last couple of years, you know, sometimes you just change. I use it a lot. So this is a quarter. And another quarter. Now the other day, if you were with me, I made a breakfast casserole. It was a bacon, egg, and cheese. It was very good. The only thing I would say that I would change is because I used the Ninja oven, I did it at 400 degrees, and I could have backed that down to 375 because it did brown a little bit too quick on the top. And after I had it on, I think it was 20 or 22 minutes, maybe 20, I had to go in and put a piece of foil over it because I think I had mentioned the eggs take sometimes a little bit longer than you expect, and the eggs weren't totally cooked, but the top was. But it was very good. Sour cream. Refrigerate that. I got my beverage of choice here somewhere. It is morning, but cheers, it's lemonade. Now, I'll grease my pan. This is not quite a 9 by 13. Now you can put nuts in this. You can put semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use the milk chocolate chips, which if I did, that's what I would prefer. This is a very thick, so it says fudge batter, so it obviously is. And this calls for, I'm going to use the Ninja oven again. It calls for 350. Now I'll have to look at the box again. I'm not sure what the time was, but I'll double check that, and it's probably going to need a little bit less. That bowl is so heavy. I was looking for a glass bowl and I couldn't find one. And one day I went down to the thrift store, which is not very far from me, and I found that, and it was only, I think I said it was $3, but it's a really nice bowl. Oh yeah, it says $3.50 for Baking time 22 to 25 minutes. So again, I'm going to check this after 20 minutes. Let's smooth this out. It'll go on the pan easily because of the oil that I put in there to keep it from sticking. It comes up pretty far in the tray, so maybe it won't be too flat. I'm going to save this for Easter. And I'm going to get a paper towel so that I don't have it stuck around the edges. I like these disposable pans. They're so expensive in the supermarket. They're actually ridiculous. So I get them at the dollar store whenever I have a chance to get over that way. And I usually get like 1 or 2 different sizes. The deep ones and the 8x8. And then this one is closer to a 9x13. It's not quite, but that's what it is. Now, I'm going to put my Ninja on for 325. I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try that for 20 minutes and then see what we got. I'm going to take my air fryer tray out of there, and then I'm going to go bottom, and I'm going to do convection and temperature 325. And no, now you just shut it off, dummy. Bottom, convection, temperature 325, time, and we'll do 19 minutes and see what we get. In the sink. This stuff goes in the sink. Now also, I saw something on the internet which was I gotta get another paper towel. I slept on the table. I don't know if this even works because I've never tried it, and I don't know anybody else who has either, but I've seen it in a couple of different places on the internet where you take an egg carton such as this and you fill it with soil for the strawberries. So I would use, I'm not sure whether I'd use a potting mix or not. I'll have to look on the bag. And then you slice fresh strawberries and you only fill it up a little way with dirt, and you put the strawberries in each of the sections, and then you lightly coat, excuse me, fill it in with some more soil. And then one of the instructions said to water down a little bit of milk for calcium, and instead of actually watering them, you put that mix, you put them out in the sun, and they're supposed to be, I don't know how long, booming with strawberries, so we'll see. All of the, obviously, you know, I mean, they're not going to say it doesn't work, but all the ones that I did see were showing huge amounts of strawberries. And then you transplant them into a larger container after they take off and they grow somewhat. But we'll see. I'm going to try it and I'll let you know how that works. And, oh, my oven's preheated. We're going to stick this. Oh, that was close. It just fit. I never, you know, you don't think about that when you put things in a small oven like that as opposed to your regular size oven. And I have to see. After I put it in the pan, I'm like, oh, is this going to fit? But it was fine. Just barely fit, but it fit. It's 12 inches, so usually I don't put anything in there larger, or try to put anything in there larger than that. So what's everybody doing for Easter? Something I always wonder, we used to do it with the kids, not all the time, but a lot of times. Does everybody dress for Easter anymore? You know, I mean, like dresses for small children, little girls, and, you know, fancy duds for the little boys. I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess if you're going, you know, when you go to church, it's different than if you're visiting somebody or you're staying home. But I don't think I've seen that out and about for a very long time. I think that's one of those things that's we've kind of given up on, and I don't know. It's kind of a sad thing. Everything's so expensive now that it's very hard to do. Some people are lucky they have, you know, what they need for Easter dinner. Never mind dinner the rest of the week, so it's tough to have to do that. That's why you see a lot of people in thrift stores, and you see people always only going out for days that, like Kohl's has senior days on Wednesday, or, you know, only buying things that are on sale. And you got to do what you got to do. It's a tough world, tough situation, and it seems to get tougher all the time. So with that, I'm going to go. I'm going to say thank you for joining me. I am going to let you know what happens with this, especially with the sour cream. The milk and the butter are exchanged for the oil and the water to make it taste more bakery style. And again, I would have liked to put some walnuts or something in it, but most of the people who I think will be eating it would prefer it plain, so we're going to do it plain this time. But thank you so much for joining me. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you have a very, very happy Easter, and subscribe if you haven't already done that. That would be much appreciated. It helps the channel. And thank you so much, and I will see you very soon. Have a great Easter, and be kind to one another. Remember, it doesn't cost anything. Bye now.